I don't think I've ever seen a president or a government do anything that I thought was out and out evil. I mean, we've gotten close. I mean, I think rendition is pretty darn evil, but this is enslaving, what our president has proposed and was in this new bill. Changes in the tax deductions for charitable giving. We have economist and actor Ben Stein. He joins me now in Washington, and from Utah, the most charitable man I have ever met, John Huntsman Sr. He's the founder of the Huntsman Cancer Institute. Ben, let me just start with you. When I found out that Barack Obama and the Democrats have put in a reduction in the deductions for charitable giving, and then follow it up with, yeah, but we've put a lot of money in the stimulus package to go ahead and cover those losses for those charities, I thought this is insane, irresponsible, and quite honestly, because it involves enslaving people, evil.
It's very, very questionable. I cannot understand it for the life of me. I can't understand why they're discouraging charitable giving. It is something that builds character. It's something that keeps America free because it allows people to benefit and help other people without government intervention, government compulsion. I honestly can't understand it. But then I can't understand why they're limiting the deductibility of interest for home purchases. I thought we wanted to stimulate the home market. I don't understand that either.
John, you're a guy who, the last time I think we saw each other, you're going to die broke. You're giving away all of your billions of dollars, and I still haven't received a dime of it. I'm just saying. You are giving it all away. You told me, we were walking the hallways of your cancer institute, the Huntsman Cancer Institute out in Utah, and you said to me that already, and this is under Bush, that if you give away, which you do, every dime of your yearly salary, you actually have to pay more income tax. Is that right?
That's right, Glenn, and it's really difficult to believe that if a person makes a certain amount of money, over say $50,000 a year or $100,000 a year, they only get a 50% deduction, and then they have to pay taxes. So if somebody gives 100% of their income of $200,000 a year away, then in addition to giving it all away, they then have to pay taxes on a big chunk of that money today. And what Obama's asking us to do in the new stimulus plan is it's very anti-stimulus, Glenn, because they're saying in addition to paying the taxes today that you have to pay if you give all your money away, you have to pay even more taxes. And so it's very unfair, John, to those people.
As somebody who is trying to raise, I mean, I just helped you with a fundraiser.
You did.
You know, you're talking about, I mean, we've had this conversation. Somebody who's a billionaire, you know, building a hospital like you did is one thing, but it can't rely on just one person. You need the $5, $10, $20, $100 donations. What is this going to do to your fundraising to have, you know, people not be able to write everything off?
Well, Glenn, it's not only the Huntsman Cancer Institute and cancer research, but any type of charitable organization, any church or synagogue, they should be outraged. They should be up in arms. This part of the stimulus bill is very anti-stimulus and anti-American because it means that people who are charitable, people who want to give, they get less of a deduction because of one thing. The government thinks they can spend the money more wisely than charities think they can spend the money, and the government wants to take it away from us.
Ben,
well, I think there's another point to it. I think the government wants to take over pretty much everything.
Oh, yeah.
And they don't want the private sector having a big role in everything. You know, this is the salami slicing technique.
Where I wanted to go with you, Ben, is this is why I find it evil, because what they're doing is they are taking the money away that you want to give. You're sending it now to Washington, and they'll decide which charities are appropriate for government money. So if you're not playing ball with them, if you're not PC enough, if you're for abstinence or against abstinence or whatever happens to be the politically correct thing right then, they've got you by the you-know-what.
Yeah, it's about government control. It's not really about revenue raising. It's a small amount of revenue. It's about government control.
How do we reverse this? I had people tell me, John, that, you know, there's too many powerful people that you know, are involved, and they'll never let these charitable deductions go. I don't think so. I think this thing is going to go through. Do you think this, is there any way to stop this nonsense?
Well, we have to stop it, Glenn and Ben. We absolutely have to stop it. The American people are the most generous people on the face of the earth. They want to give. They want to make a difference. They want to know that their dollars are being utilized in the manner in which they're donating them.
John, how? Ben, how? I mean, people
well, I will
are going
tell you, if
crazy.
every person, you have an audience of something like 4 million people or some huge number.
Right.
If every one of them wrote a postcard to his representative in Congress, it would stop.
That's exactly right. Every congressman and every senator should be contacted by the United States of America's citizens, because every citizen should be outraged by this portion of the stimulus package. It's anti-stimulus.
Guys, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I have to tell you, gang, I don't know if I believe that anymore. I really don't. I don't know if I believe that if everybody wrote that they would change their tune, or at least change it. They would just stuff it someplace else. Question is, so much stuff is coming at us over and over and over again. Can you imagine if this were just a loan and they tried to do this? Nobody would be doing this. We don't know. Everything's so massive, we don't know how to make judgments anymore. We don't know the difference between right and wrong because, hey, you got to pay your fair share and all this bull crap. Look at principle number 7 of our values and our principles. I work hard for what I have, and I will share it with who I want to and when I want to, and I think more importantly, if I want to. The government cannot force me to be charitable. I challenge anyone, Republican or Democrat, to point to the word charity in our Constitution. The government, I've never felt charitable. Never felt charitable on April 15th. Have you? But I have when I have written out a check myself and sent it into the fire department, or sent it into John's hospital, or sent it into my church. I do feel charitable then. It's about changing people's hearts. And I got to tell you, tax day makes my heart all black and bitter. Maybe it's just me. Check out all the 9 principles and the 12 values at glennbeck.com.